We are here on a Wednesday, 8:45, which means it is Tier 4. As we all know, we're here in the night sky of Bahrain in the middle of the Sahara Desert. But this is some track. I mean, I've just had an absolute abysmal race where I've seen absolutely no one. But I'm sure the Tier 4 boys are going to produce an awful lot more. And it's actually, well, I don't know why I'm surprised. It's always dry in Bahrain. I don't think they've ever seen rain in their entire life. But talking of a man that's of things that have never seen rain in their entire life, I think Bandstop's never seen them either, and he's with me tonight. How are you?
I am very, very good, thank you. How are you?
We are reunited again. After Tier 2.
We are. I'm happy to be with you.
Like, it's only been a week, so yeah, we are back together. I guess we could call it a newly found relationship. I guess we can go with this, can't we?
We can call it that.
Yeah, Chris would be jealous, but who cares about Chris? But what we will do is the whole viewership world of MRC. They all loved the fact that you took us on a lap last week of the Tier 2 guys. So how would you feel about doing it again this week?
I would happily do it.
I was going to say let's... Gab's on Inters, so it's probably best we don't do it with Night Shadow. Let me see who
I was
the next...
thinking that, so I'm on Gideon or
yeah,
Donny,
it'll be Dudon. Yeah, no, we call him Donny around here. Oh, the Red Bull's just overtaken him.
It's Ibon.
Oh, he's new, I think. I've never seen that name before.
I think so too. I have never seen that name, but he's already on the flap open and the ERS on.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that on your outlap.
That's not recommended to do.
It's definitely not recommended to do. That is for sure. But he will be the man you take us.
I think he will learn that going into this lap.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he's going to realise he loses a lot of time. But are you ready to go with this?
Should I go with Ibon or?
Yeah, go with Ibon. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Flap open, ERS obviously on. Let's see what it can do into turn 1, 2 and 3. Break just before the 100-meter board. Down to first gear even. Across the second corner. Going now into turn 4. DRS open, closes it now. Very tricky to get the power down early here. He does it very, very well. 16% ERS left. Very tricky section here. Turn 7 here. Turn 8 now. Let's go on to the tricky sector 9. Corner 9 and 10, of course. Downhill left-hander braking zone. So it's very easy to lock up the tires. Did very well though. Out of ERS, DRS open, brakes just before the 50-meter board going into the turn 11 and 12. Goes off track, keeps his track limits to himself. His time is still valid. 108.35 second sector split. Going full throttle down the straight between turn 13 and 14. Last corner now. Turn 14, 15, let's see what it can do. DRS open. And 1.30.9, very, very good lap to be fair.
That's a very good banker.
I was expecting slower than that.
My heart went in my mouth when he had that moment at the exit of turn 10. I thought he was going into the wall. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was thinking he would have a slower lap, but he's in fact quicker than Donny, Scottish Ninja. Now, Brindle goes faster.
Oh, Julian! That's some lap.
3.
Look at that for a banker from Julian 30.0.
That is a very, very good banker.
It really is.
He will be very happy with that banker. Let's see if he can improve on his second and third run, of course.
I just want to point out as well, Mr. Night Shadow's lap on the Inters. That is some lap. on the
That is
intermediates.
a very, very good lap. That is
33.5.
the lap
That's like
time of a medium tire.
that's like
race,
a
or even
second
hards,
quicker
to be
than
fair.
me
I
in
did hards
qualifying in
the
tier
race, so
3.
That is a very, very good lap on Inters.
That really is. You know, he's literally sat there fist pumping. He's in the YouTube chat. He said bonjour for a man that hates French people. According to him, they're his words, not mine. But he's speaking French, so I'm guessing that means Gab's now found a new love for France. But we won't say that too now because he will get upset.
Indeed.
Let's have a look at
see
Zondas, because he is the man
Zondas is on a lap.
coming across the line now. This looks like it's going to be a good little lap as well. In the 30s, 30.8, P5. Good lap from him.
This is very good lap times for tier 4, I have to say. We saw the same kind of lap times in tier 3 just moments before this race, of course.
It is
very intrigued who will get pole today.
Paulo Costa's on a lap and he's just been overtaken on his lap by Roundy, who's on an out lap. That looks crazy. But
Looked dangerous, I guess.
I wouldn't say dangerous, but it just looked like something you don't expect to see in qualifying. But I'm sure
Very true.
that'll be seen. But I've just realised Scottish Ninja and Fragile Tunnel, both of their laps as well were on medium tyres, by the way. So Scottish Ninja does a 131.3 on mediums. That's incredible.
That's a very good lap on the mediums. It's not too far off the top guys, actually.
Do you want me to put this into perspective for you? I did a 131.0 in tier 3. He's done a 131.3 in tier 4 on a slower tyre. Connor for tier 4? Question mark.
That is that is very good. I think that I have no words.
Yeah, I'm just on board with the championship leader, who is Scott. He's purple in the middle sector, so he's absolutely flying. Let's see what Scott's banker's going to be here, because he's the man that everyone's chasing in tier 4 at this moment. So, is he going to be able to put it anywhere near Julian's time? Let's have a look. 30.4 into P3. He will take that very happily for a banker, I'm sure. Let's go and have a look at... Let's go have a look at Roundy. He is also on a lap. He's also a man that has been formerly in tier 4 and formerly battling at the top of tier 4 as well. So, let's see if he can bounce back to his good old ways. Who are you watching at the minute, Toby?
I am watching Winky just behind Roundy, actually.
At
first
so
didn't see Roundy was on a lap, but very interesting, both of them.
Winky's on a very good banker.
Very fast.
30.9, so...
He did have a very good banker. He can improve a lot on that as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing that.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. Let's see what Randy's going to do. He's going around the final corner. He does take a bit of the sausage curb. That can lose you or gain you if you take it the correct way. But let's see, he's coming to the line. What's it going to be? 30.6 into P6. That's a good little lap. Let's go and see what Winky's doing, as he is the man. I think he wasn't actually on a lap there.
He is on an in lap. That was very
I was going to say, he's just on a 150, so... let's have a look at Paulo Costa. He's he's not actually on a lap either. He's actually on a slower lap than
now he is.
Yeah, he's still only got
60.
He's still only got 60% ERS though, so I'm not sure how representative that's going to be. 38, the man who's got pole in I think like every single race this season is just coming on track. So that'll be interesting. RFC Danny, he's also making his return. Bat Mazo, he was so unfortunate that he couldn't race in tier 3, but he is back for tier 4, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on as well. He can only qualify on the mediums. Don't forget, all the tier 3 guys, I think it's only Night Shadow and Bat Mazo can only qualify on the mediums. So definitely guys to watch out for.
Very true. We can see P8 now. Ibn is now on the lap again. 30.9, of course. Can he improve on that time? Going through the final 2 corners now, even though it's basically one. 25, 26, DRS open. Let's see what he can do. Can he improve?
Wow,
he can improve. 129.6. That is a very good lap. And I think there's still time to gain, but he should not be disappointed with that lap. That was a very, very good lap, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that was a very, very good lap. It's good to see him make his day. We knew he had a lot of time in his first lap as well, because of the fact that he obviously had that moment at the exit of turn 10 where he very nearly hit the wall, didn't he? So we knew he had time there, but that's still a very, very... That's 1.3 seconds he gained on his previous time. That's a big, big improvement, and maybe the track is now finally starting to rubber in.
Indeed, we can see cars going faster and faster, and we're gonna see people close to Ibn even, maybe even faster, of course, with 38, who's a very, very fast driver who's now on a lap. We always see them going as close to each other at the top as possible, and I think we can see very, very close lap times for compared to Ibn, of course.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Martin, are you talking about Mark Dennison there? Because he's Shiwang. Unless I'm really messed up here, but I think it is him you're talking about. So, and I know he is unwell, so get well soon, Mr. Dennison.
Get well soon.
Let's see. 38, he's the man that's been on pole in, I think, literally every race this season. He's the man with the 1 lap pace. He is the man also on a lap currently. So let's see how he gets on around Bahrain, because... Do you like this track, Toby, out of interest?
I don't at all for 5. I don't like it at all. But I've learned to like it more when I practiced. I only practiced qualifying, which is very interesting. So.
Well, you should thank that guy that towed you along for the last 5 laps with the DRS. I don't know who it was, but you should thank him. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. To be fair, it's not on top of my memory.
He protected you at all costs in that race, didn't he? And he wasn't even your teammate, but yeah. But here comes 38
coming over the line.
Oh,
29.8 as a bank. Remember,
he's exactly 2/10 off Ibn. I don't know. I need to think of a nickname for Ibn.
Ibn.
Yeah, I might just call him Bon. I don't know.
Bon
yeah,
is
just
nice.
call him Bon. Hello, Bon. But Johnny Smooth into P9 as well. That's a good lap from him. I'll tell you something though. What is good to see here is the fact that everyone all the way down to P12 are not separated by a great deal, to be completely honest. Obviously, you've got the 2 out front, which are quite a way ahead. But then after that, you've got the rest of them are all fairly close. So it's definitely going to make it interesting qualifying. Because if you look at it as well, Smith and Gibban are both separated by about 0.03 of a second, which is not much at all. And that's for 7th and 8th. And then you've got Scott just a further 10th ahead of them in P6. So...
Indeed, we can see now Winky had a spin on his flying lap, unfortunately, and we even see 38 maybe having connection issues, disconnected from the session.
Yeah, I think he's a driver that's had a few connection issues this season, and it does seem to cause him some issues, but hopefully he can get back. Have you got him as a friend? Because if so, you could invite him very quickly back, make sure he's got an invite. If not, I'll do it very quickly.
I think I do.
Okay, if you do, then try and invite him back, just so we know he's got an invite to get back in.
Yes, sir. There we go. Perfect, that's done.
Right, 30, you should be able to get back in now, hopefully, so get that connection sorted. You've still got time as well in qualifying, so... You should be okay. Let's have a look at Scottish Ninja. Don't forget, his first lap was on medium tyres as well, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how much he can improve on the softs. He's just gone purple in the first sector as well, so Scottish Ninja could definitely be one to watch out for here.
Indeed, we can see him now going through Sector 2 SS. Very, very good split time. To be fair, 38 now joins the session as well.
That's good, yeah.
So he'll be going out for one more run, I think, to snatch that position.
He's going to have to be quick, though. He's going to have to be very quick to get back in, but...
29.8 is a very good banker, and the keyword here is banker.
I mean, he's going to have to be quick to get in the garage, select his tyres, and then get back. Oh, Scottish Ninja's gone very, very wide.
He has, but he still has... no track invalidation.
He has, because it actually loses you time there, doesn't it?
Indeed, indeed.
But
it
let's
actually
see.
Does
He's coming to the line. What's it going to
just
be?
open.
Oh,
30.29.
I think going a bit wide lost him about 4 to 5 tenths because he was a lot more up than that at the end of the second sector. So still P6
Indeed,
is still a good lap, but that's his qualifying
very
done,
true.
I think.
Very true. I think P3, P4 would have been achievable with that lap. Very unfortunate to go off track, of course. Always have to be focused.
Yeah, let's see round 8. He's just starting his lap, so we will come back to him. What about Luke Chard? He is a man who was 8 tenths up at the end of the first sector. What's he going to be in the middle sector? 1.2 up, so this could be a good little lap from Mr. Luke Chard. This could put him right in the mix with the guys in front. So let's see where Luke Chard can go. Gav is now out on the medium tyres as well, so he is going to set a lap on those mediums. So that'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Fragile Tunnel's not going to go out. He's only set his laps on mediums this time. So, but Luke Chard up to P16, so at least he's no longer the last place tier 4 runner. RFC Danny's not set a lap in this session, which is strange.
It is very interesting.
Unless he has a
tunnel.
Yeah, he's out, so he's just retired in the pits in his garage. So
indeed,
he's obviously happy with his qualifying. Maybe Danny's got a qualifying ban that we are unaware of, but I don't think he does. But that's the only reason I can think why he hasn't set a lap. So let's go and have a look at Mr. DRS Julian, because he's coming to the end of the first sector and he's also in this fight for pole, but he is slightly down at the end of the first sector. I believe he's also a no assist runner like yourself and myself, so
I really hope he is, because if he's doing this this tier, we can see Roundy.
Whoa, look at that gap out of the front.
29.679, that's 8 thousandths off of pole.
Wow.
Provisionary pole. That is a very, very good lap from Roundy, who's been very, very consistent.
Yeah, I think he'll be
season.
kicking himself a little bit though that he lost that 8 thousandths, because that is so close to pole, isn't it? But Julian's
Indeed,
5 tenths up, so Julian's about to throw him absolutely flying.
If he keeps this gap, remember, he will go provisional pole.
He will. Here comes Julian. He's down the pit straight. Is he going to be able to
That's a
pick this
very,
up?
very good time from him.
Wow,
Goes pole with
29.1.
29.8.
29.1.
That is an insane... Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
confused. Very, very good lap time from DRS
Wow.
Julian. Very, very good lap from
There's
him.
the benchmark. Can anyone get any near it?
He should be very, very happy with that, in my opinion.
Let's have a look at Mr. Bon, because he is the next man who's in the... Oh, he's had a big twitch! But he's come to the end of the second sector. How far up is he? He's actually down. I think he's lost some time, but can he gain in the final sector? He needs to gain 5 tenths of a second if he is going to get pole. And I don't think he's going to be able to make all that up in the last sector, sadly for him. But straight after this, we're going to go to 38, who's also right behind Mr. Bon. So... let's see, is Bond going to be able to improve? No, he does a little bit, a tiny little bit.
Little twitch.
38.
29.950.
So he was actually a bit slower.
P4.
Smits just popped it into P5. That's a good luck from him. What about Donny? What is he doing? He's coming down the back straight now. He's slightly up in the middle sector, but now he's coming into the final sector. What is Mr. Dudon going to do? Round the final corner, here he comes, down to the run, down to the straight, 30.0, he stays P6, that is still so close to it, between him and a few others. Let's go and have a look at Mr. Willy Winky. He's invalidated, but he was purple in the middle sector.
Lap. That means we have DRS Julian on pole position. Very, very good lap time from him, 5 tenths or 4.5 tenths faster than
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. But it's good to see Bond.
Very, very good times.
Good to see Bond make his debut and be right up there as well, straight off the bat. It's nice to see a debutant do that, isn't it? So, but we've also got Roundy in P3, 38. That's the lowest he qualified all season. Where did Scott get? The championship leader, Scott, all the way down in 11th.
I have had words that 38 did the last lap without ERS. So imagine if he had ERS, because he was down on his time by
not very much at all. He only finished a 10th off.
Yeah.
Can we appreciate that time by
so
Gav on mediums though? A 30.6. That's crazy. But
very good lap.
Your grid for today: Julian takes pole, Bond takes second, Roundy in third, 38 fourth, Smith in P5, Dudon in P6, Brindle P7, Paulo Costa in P8, Scottish Ninja in P9, Giban in P10, Scott, the championship leader, down in P11, Zondas P12, Night Shadow takes P13, Johnny Smooth 14th, Willy Willy in P15, Man P16, Luke Chard P17, Fragile Tunnel P18, Batlaser Danny did not, well, Batlaser did settle up, but Danny did not, and he is starting last. So that's your grid. Who's your prediction, Mr. Tobias?
My prediction?
Yes, for the win.
Ooh. Very hard to predict someone, because we have very skilled drivers that are in front of 38, but 38 have shown such pace this season. It's actually unbelievable. I do think 38 will take the win today.
Okay, so that's your prediction. I don't know. The thing is, for me, with how close it was out the front, I mean, Julian's pace, no one can look over that. That was utterly sensational from Julian, that lap at the end. Like, wow. But I think
Indeed.
It would have been interesting to see if 38 could have got near it. But I think I'm going to go with Roundy for the win. He's a man that's always there or thereabouts when he has luck on his side. Although he has just failed to start on the formation lap. He is still just sat there on the grid. So, I'm not sure what's gone on with Roundy here, but he is just sat there.
From Roundy.
He's got moving eventually, but
now he is going.
Yeah, that was strange to say the least. But I think he's also
It's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah,
go on.
He's a man that's very consistent and always there or thereabouts. But I tell you something, I don't know if you're looking at the tyre screen currently, but Julian starting on the hards, and then you've got Ibon, Roundy, 38 Smith, all on the mediums. Then you've got Donny on the hards, and then you've got Brindle who's starting on the softs. So he's going to be a man to watch off the start, because those soft tyres are going to be wonderful to get off the line with. So that's going to be interesting.
A reversed Night Shadow in Tier 3.
Why? What did Night Shadow do?
He did a long, hard stint, hoping for a safety car, and then went on the softs, and he finished in the points, I think.
Yeah, so I think Gab ended up 7th on the road. But the issue for Gab was, I think he got... the issue was a lot of the grid were all very bunched together, the leaders. So from you
Indeed.
all the way down to about P... Because I think he came out of the pits originally in P11, but then obviously all the softs then brought him right back into play kind of thing. So...
Indeed.
It could have been a lot more, and a safety car would have done a lot for Gav. He was a bit unfortunate, but I mean, it would have been interesting to see, because there's a lot of bashing going on on the formation lap here. Yeah, that was
very interesting. That was
peculiar. Yeah. Roundy obviously got DSQ'd. He said his wheel disconnected on the out lap. Let's hope that doesn't happen on the actual start.
We really hope so. Can your prediction Roundy get his maiden win in this season?
This season, yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's won in the past, but let's see how this goes. It's going to be very interesting to see what starts these guys get, because Julian's going to be hampered off the start with his hard tyres. We know this. He's going to be the slowest of the top 5 off the line, isn't he? So, it'll definitely be interesting. It's taken a while for all these guys to line up on the grid. Oh, thank goodness. I thought there was a glitch then. I started to worry. But we have got 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and we're underway. It's a good getaway from Julian, but what a getaway it is from Ibon. He's already taken the lead. There's a crash. Roundy's in the wall with Scott. And Donny, and wow. That was a big crash, and we've got a VSC. Oh,
there is
that
a
was...
lot of people
Yeah.
crashing and losing positions.
I don't know how no one lost
actually-
a wheel. I don't know how no one lost. Well, I mean, I think I've cursed Rowdy on another level in this race. To be completely
I do
honest.
think so too, to be honest, because 5 people spun or got damage.
Yeah, and it's only
throughout that start, and Donny as well lost 4 positions. But other than that, everyone's fine. It was 5 people at the back now.
Do you know what the bad thing is for the guys at the back though? It's only a VSC. So the safety is probably not going to stay out long enough for them to be able to stay on the back of these guys.
Indeed, I think
Rowdy appears to have no damage though after all that. That's quite a surprise.
That is, yeah, that is the surprise. I can see 38 in P18 without a wing, so I must have.
He must have got caught up because he started directly behind Round. I'm wondering if maybe him and Roundy made contact potentially, but I don't know what happened. All I saw was Roundy absolutely fly into the wall. Obviously, Julian got a bit hampered. Those hard tyres did not get him off the line well at all.
Johnny Smooth around down to P14 now, his starting position, but he will be overtaken by Luke Shard in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Going down to the last few corners. Very interesting start to this race.
It is.
Already
a lot has played out.
Safety car.
I think if there's a safety car, it obviously brings those guys who have dropped to the back into it. But 38 is in the pits. Scott is out.
Scott's
got on the pit entry.
Oh, he had a nightmare. That means that the championship leader is out of this race. 38 is almost last, which means that Gibban is the next driver with Winky after that. So P3 and P4 is gonna gain so much on these championship leaders, these two, 38 and Scott, of course.
I'm so very surprised what's happened to Scott here. I don't understand what's just happened. Because he didn't go in the pit lane because his car wasn't in the pits on the minimap. So...
Yes.
And by the looks of it, he's hit the pit wall, which is... Obviously, he's misjudged his entry a little bit here. So...
Indeed he did.
Oh, that is definitely going to swing this championship wide open. Look at the gap Ibon has out in front.
Through Rowdy and Johnny Smooth, they make contact. Johnny Smooth is around again. He has had a very, very unlucky start. He had a good
qualified
start,
well, didn't he?
Gained places. He qualified P14. Then went up places because everyone else crashed in the first corner or from the race start. Then went back down to P16 after 2 spins. Very, very unlucky.
There's contact between Brindle and Smith. Those two just made contact on the exit. Smith's gone off the road. That may have to be given back, according to the game as well. Yeah, he has. He's just given it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Paulo Costa went through each round. At turn 4, Paulo Costa's just lost his rear end. Oh, that was so unlucky.
This is an exciting race this far.
So much has happened already. Yeah, it's like it's like a boxing match where they're throwing jabs at each other and then they're throwing a knockout punch every once in a while. It's really causing all sorts of disasters for these guys. This track looks very green as well. It doesn't look like these drivers have a lot of grip either, does it, to be honest? So
it does not, to be honest. And we can see
I'd like to point out though, yeah, that gap has come down between Julian.
That is very, very good. With the fact that he's on hards and he will be able to go longer than the other boys and have the faster tire at the end, which is so crucial when you're trying to win a race.
Yeah, it definitely
if you don't run away at the start, like Bon actually wants to do, we can see him do want that. He's pushing with ERS, about the same ERS as DRS Julian. If he stays in this gap, he has a very, very good chance of winning this race.
I'll tell you one man that's made an absolutely sensational start. Mr. RFC Danny. He started P20 and he's in P7. That's incredible.
DRS Julian, I'm sorry, DRS Julian.
Oh, you
He
just
had a
cursed
spin.
him.
I
Oh,
cursed him.
bad
I cursed
stop.
38. Now I cursed DRS Julian. This is not a good race. For
I mean,
none of them.
I don't think either of them quite add up to how bad I cursed Roundy. First, I go on board with him. He fails the the formation lap. Then he, oh wow, Connor's brought his curse back with him and his partner in full vengeance tonight for tier 4.
This has been a very interesting race.
I think we should just sit with
opinion.
our eyes closed and not watch anyone at this point.
I think the same. To be honest, he will probably be better off by then.
Yeah, these drivers will be a lot safer. But yeah, Brindle is on those soft tyres, but I'd imagine those softs are going to start going off around lap 7 and 8 because they're not the best tyres to have, are they?
They're really not, to be honest. Now we can see Gibbon, the man in P3 in the championship. P5, the first hard runner. Will he be able to gain that gap to the front runners? And will he be able to win this race?
Julian's having a look on Danny. He's not quite going to make it. Marty's just explained what happened at the start, which is actually very helpful. So he said Roundy spins on the start unaided, so he went on his own. But then he collected 38 on his spin. And then that has left him going into a wall, and then that's obviously when Scottish Ninja and Scott have both gone through on the way as well. So that's what happened to them. But I'd love to know what happened to Scott on that pit entry, because that looked kind of bad from him. Like, I don't know how he's got into the pit wall kind of thing. Like, it must have been a misjudgment. It is, because it is quite a narrow pit wall, isn't it? So
indeed it is. Indeed it is. We can see.
But I'll tell you something. Did I just see someone just joined or left the session? I don't know. I thought I saw something, but
don't actually remember.
Let's have a look. Well, I'll tell you something though. All these guys, so the guys 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are all on the hard tyres. Gab's also made a great start. He's into P8, right behind his teammate. Julian's currently having a look at RFC Danny, who's in P6, so that's going to be a little battle to watch here, I think. Julian...
It really is. They're just 4 tenths behind Danny now, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to do in this on this DRS straight. Of course, they're in a bit of a train at the moment, so let's see who uses the more DRS.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well to see how far up the field Julian can get from after his spin, if he can get back on the podium. Or obviously the gap's slightly big now between Brindle and obviously Smith and Winky. Them guys have all sort of run away a little bit from this, but then after that, I mean, a safety car could quite easily bring Julian back into question here, so it'll be interesting to see the progress he can make. But that gap out front, 4.6 seconds, I'm guessing those soft tyres of Brindle are starting to go off a little bit.
They definitely have 6 laps on softs on this track, which is very, very bad on tires that are softer. Is not good in his books. Of course, he will have to pit onto the hards and go the long way. I think that's the best strategy for him, because he will be pitting and being like P14, something like that. Then after that, he can push as hard as he can until everyone else pits, and he'll actually gain some time from that as well.
He definitely will, but it's going to be... It's still like starting on the softs. Yeah, okay, you're going to get a good start, and he has really gained off the start as well. I think he started P6 and now he's all the way up to P2, but he managed to keep his nose clean. But I think now he's really starting to suffer, and the issue is he's definitely not going to have a fresh set of softs now if there is a late safety car, is he? So it's going to cause some sort of issues. But here comes Julian.
Still.
Yep, here comes Julian. It's actually Gab who's closer to Julian than Julian is to RFC Danny. Oh, something just happened to Gab. Oh, no, not quite. I thought he went into a wall then. It looked like Gab, but I don't know if he had a bit of a lag spike or something, but it looked not great. Toby, would you be able to send 38 an invite? He's left the session again, if at all possible.
It is
very quickly. He's just asked in YouTube chat for an invite, so... But Gibbon, he's also a man. He's starting to catch the rear end of Winky now. So it is another battle. There's a little bit of a train now forming behind Winky. So Winky's holding these guys up a little bit. I did promise Winky I won't watch him too much because he is scared of the Connor curse. Tough, he's the one battling at the minute. So he's getting the Connor curse. But let's have a little look, because here comes Danny. He's right on the rear end now of Gibbon. Gibbon seems to be struggling a little bit on those hard tyres. I don't know if he's managed to get enough heat. I'll tell you what though, Toby, you wouldn't expect tyre wear to be so high here because the temperatures are much lower because it's night time. So you'd think the tyre... Oh, Gibbon's gone really wide at the penultimate corner. That's going to really open up a chance for Danny now into the final corner. Let's see, is he going to be able to make it? No, I think he's going to wait for the pit straight. He is going to have DRS.
He's going to stay about, indeed.
Yeah, but
Both
also Gibbon's going to have it as well, though. Gibbon's also going to have DRS because he's going to get it a distant one. Here he comes. Is he going to have a look into turn one? He's at the inside.
Wasting ERS, in my opinion, should stay behind.
He's done it. Oh, contact! Oh, there's
he had
a bit
of a lock-up going into that corner, which made him stare back
and
into
here
him
goes
to...
Night Shadow as well, he's through. But yes, what you said is exactly right. I don't know what happened. It seemed like he maybe had a twitch on the entry, if that makes sense. And the twitch then forced him into Gibbon a little bit. Yeah.
That was the locking up. If you lock up, you correct your steering, you don't lock up anymore, and that was, I think, what happened.
Oh!
Very unlucky.
Winky's
and Winky
round.
is now round.
Yeah, I've just seen that in the background. He's gone round. Oh, Connor's cursed him on another level.
That means that Gibbon is going to gain so much ground on 38 and Scott. It's unbelievable.
Hold on, I'm just going to quickly invite 38 because he said he didn't get an invite, so I'm just going to... Oh, it's not letting me invite him, so there's not a lot I can do, sadly. Sorry about that, guys.
The old one should still be valid.
Yeah, try and go on the old one. I'm not sure really how we can help you. It's sort of, it's not letting, it's just come up saying error for me when I tried to invite, so yeah. But I tell you something, Night Shadow as well, he really was opportunistic then on that little Danny moment. And now Night Shadow is going to try and make a move on Gibbon. Gibbon's not going to have DRS. Night Shadow will. Is he going to have the straight line speed? Because I know he did have a lot of it in tier 3 and he's made the move into turn 1, but Danny's missed his braking point and very nearly got into the rear of Gibbon. Wow, grabs round, Night Shadow spun on the exit of turn 1.
That's very, very unlucky for a man that gained 10 positions to go up to P3.
Connor is just cursing everyone. I'm killing everyone.
Up 6 positions. It's very, very good from Night Shadow. He can still do bits from here and get good points from for the Alpine team, of course. Very, very unlucky with the moment he had, or spin. Very, very unlucky, but he will now start to climb those positions again. As we just say that, he makes the move.
Oh, Danny's gone wide and Julian's through. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just had to point that out.
No problem.
But yeah.
Absolutely no problem. Night Shadow and Roundly switched positions twice.
Yeah.
And as you said, there is Julian now through.
He can't get back in. There's not a lot we can do, sadly, 30, because we have both tried to invite you and it just keeps coming up saying error, so... That's the issue. There's not a lot we can do. Just keep trying. Maybe restart your console really quickly and try and get in like that. That could be the best way, potentially. Just have a go at that quickly. But Julian, he's now the next man to... I've noticed everyone that tries to overtake Gibbon seems to spin. So maybe the story should be, don't overtake Gibbon.
Exactly. It's now... We had Brindle in the pits.
And here he goes.
Early pit stop. But he
was on the softs, wasn't he? So
on the
that's
soft
why.
tires, that was why. And now he actually comes out in P10. Very, very good from Brindle.
Yeah,
to come out in
that's a
P10
good
here
stop
on
by
the boards,
him.
because he can definitely take this to the end. Of course, it's 19 laps.
Oh, Gibbon's just left the session and it's now lost him a place. Gibbon's just left the session, it's lost him a place to Danny. Julian also got the place done into turn 1, but I think Gibbons either just paused it or had connection issues.
Unfortunately, I
dropping.
don't have him as a friend.
I
so
do, but I don't think it's letting me invite anyone. That is the issue. I'm gonna try again one more time. I feel bad because these guys, yeah, I can't. Sorry guys, it's gonna block the viewing for people who are trying to watch the stream. But yeah, it's not letting me. It just says error as well. So we're just gonna keep going as we are. Night Shadow dropped off a bit. Here comes Man as well. He's in P7. He's a man that was in tier 3 last season, so we know Man's got a lot of pace to him. Winky's recovered. Well, after his spin, Winky's still done very well here in P8, hasn't he?
He definitely has. Still gained several positions, so he's not done anything wrong at all. If he keeps
30,
this going...
I've just tried again and it will not let me. Sorry, like, I can't really do anything else. And it's just going to keep blocking the stream for the viewers as well. That's the issue. So, there's not a lot I can do.
Winky is very unlucky here with the 10-second penalty he has, because...
Oh, well, I wonder what he got that
with that 7
for.
positions gained. Very, very true. It's maybe a corner cutting if he tries to avoid something.
Something's happened to Julian! Julian's round! Again!
He had a slight moment. Winky's now at the back of him with that 10-second penalty, of course. 3/10. Let's see if he can do something in the DRS zone of Sector 2. Or if he'll wait for the start-finish line.
I do think the stewards may look at that 10-second penalty for Winky. I'm sure he may send it to the stewards, so...
I do think so as well. We can now see him go on the offensive. We can see DRS Julian going defensive with the ERS. He still goes for the move. Doesn't quite have the position of that good that he backed off from that.
The thing I noticed about that straight is, and I'm sure you can agree, it's not quite long enough to make an overtake, is it? It needs to be just that little bit longer to make that overtake. But turn 1 definitely is a place to make it. Julian is not going to have DRS on Man either, so this could be move done here for Winky. There's also a yellow in Sector 3. Someone's had a moment. Is that... Who is it?
Johnny Smooth.
Oh, it's a shame.
Had a moment at the beginning of Sector 3.
But here comes Winky.
And Roundy switch positions as well.
Oh, Winky... Julian seems to have very good straight line speed because Winky did not close on him with DRS there really at all. So, let's have a look. Now they've got the run down to turn 4. Here comes Winky. Is he going to be able to make the move? He is up the inside into turn 4. Let's continue on. He's given enough space there. Julian has. There's a lot of space being given. Very clean driving here between the two of them. And they've both made it out alive. So that is the main thing.
Very, very good racing, as you say, from the two drivers of DRS, Julian and Winky, in the respective cars. Very, very nice racing, to be honest. No positions gained or lost, of course, but it's very, very good to see clean and fair racing.
I tell you what, we have just had an update from Mr. Scott, who did have that moment in the pit lane. He said he was close to Zondas on the pit entry. He said it slowed more than he expected, so he couldn't react, and then went into him and the wheel came off. That's just very unfortunate, isn't it, really? For the championship leader, his race is over quite early, but it is going to... And the only positive for Scott is, obviously, it's very unfortunate for 38. The man in the title fight with him is currently a lap down and can't get back in the session, which is a massive shame for him.
That is very true, to be honest. And Gibbon, that was P3, or that is P3 in the championship, is down at P15 and still hasn't pit yet.
Yeah, he
the
also
next
had
Winky.
Connection problems, Gibbon, I think, didn't he? Yeah, because he's still ghosted, so...
That is why. That is very true. Yeah. And we see Winky as well, who's the next guy, down in P8 with 10 seconds. Maybe that will be looked at, of course. But P8 still. Next one after that is Donny, who is in P4 at the moment, but he is also he's on 45 points while Scott is on 89 points, so he'll make good ground if he keeps on this position, and not to take any shame away from Danny, who's up 18 positions with Night Shadow behind him, up 10 positions back into P3 now, and not down to P6 as it was before. Very good driving from him.
Giban can't get back in the session either, and sadly I can't send him an invite either, it won't let me, so it's unfortunate for him because it won't let him get back in. The whole session was glitched in my POV. Oh no. That's not good at all.
Very unlucky.
I feel bad at these points because obviously we're in a position where we can invite, but it's not letting us invite. But the race leader is in the pits. Mr. Ibon, is he going to come out ahead of Brindle? You would think so, definitely. He's going to come out way ahead of Brindle.
He's definitely going to. Indeed. He's going to...
Winky's in and Rowdy's in as well. Sorry, but yes.
Indeed, he is going to be ahead of Brindle. Not by too much. 8
it's
seconds.
about 8
he can
seconds-ish, yeah.
7 seconds now. It'll be down to 6.5 seconds around that, I will imagine, because of the tire warm-up, of course. Down into turn 1. We can see contact between Roundy and Back Meso, and now there's...
Oh no, there's not a BSC. I thought there was, because it said 6 and 1, 2 and 3, and...
Yeah, there was moments on both, on all 3 sectors, of course. Very, very interesting, and we haven't seen that a lot.
Usually when it says sector 1, 2 and 3, it's either VSC, because it doesn't actually come up on our screen saying VSC or safety car. We have to look at the minimap and see what it is. But then,
indeed,
it's just so confusing. But it is what it is, and at least the race is still continuing on. But I think a lot of the drivers towards the back definitely could do with a safety car. So,
indeed. I have to say, the driver that looks most likely to win this race is Öben in P5, because he's only from the lead. He's about 6-7 seconds.
Yeah, he's got a big lead at the minute, that's for sure. He definitely looks like what you would call the favourite.
7.3 seconds. The gap still closing to Man. Of course, 13. He's now into the pits as well. So up to P4. Every other driver in front of him, DRS Julian, Night Shadow, and Danny, have safety car as well. There's a full course safety car.
Paulo Costa's out. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone down the straight. The back straight. No, the straight on the run down to turn 4 by the looks of it. So, drive-through penalty for Scottish Ninja. Oh, it's such a shame. It's so easy to do as well, though, isn't it? But I tell you something, though. This really, really helps Danny, Night Shadow, you know, Julian, all of these guys. It really brings them right into play, and it's going to bring Ibon into a lot of pressure here as well.
Indeed, it's going to be very, very interesting, because the faster tire on the restart, of course, just behind Ibon. But it's also going to be very interesting at the end of the race, because Ibon will have the better tires at the end. Of course, the mediums won't be as fast.
Well, if you think about it, there's going to be 3 laps, you would say, under this safety car. So by the time they actually get racing, it's going to be, what, lap 18, which means they only actually have to do 11 laps on those mediums, which isn't actually much. So, to be honest...
No, very, very true.
It's race open. And these guys have now brought themselves back into this race, but the hards aren't that bad round here, so...
They aren't bad at all. We can see that in tier 3 as well. Most people went for the medium hard strategy. Very, very interested to see how people are going to do in the latter stage of this race.
Gab has carried on, but Danny is pit. I'm very surprised Gab's kept going there. He had a chance of winning this race with that.
Because DRS Julian is now into the pits as well.
He is.
Very, very interesting from Night Shadow. Maybe he's going to be in.
Maybe he's hoping for an even later safety car to put the softs on right at the end. But even still, this is going to bunch the field up. And if there is a later safety car, it's probably still going to cost him, because he's not going to gain the time he would have now, if that makes sense. So
indeed, I think he will have to go in before this safety, this lap, of course, because otherwise he will lose time. Because if there is a late safety car, he will have to pit while no one else pits, remember. So
yeah,
very, very interesting. We can see Gibbon of course, lagged out as well. So the AI didn't pit for him either. So he's also on the same strategy as Night Shadow now. But everyone else have pit, and no one else is going to pit. So he has to dive into the pit lane and lose positions.
Gav said this is calculated. This is his idea here is calculated. So let's see if it pays off for him. But do you know what? Backing up what you said, the man that could now be the favourite to win this race could be RFC Danny. And could we just take a minute to appreciate he started in 20th.
I know, that is.
And now he's
very,
in with a fight
good.
of winning this race on the best tyre. He's definitely going to be able to go to the end on that tyre, and they're not going to be bad at the end of the race either. So he really, really could win this race, Danny. He's really brought himself back into it. Obviously, Gav's now at a disadvantage because he is on lap 15 and he is going to have to pit. So we've got a big old shootout now for the win, really.
Indeed, it is very, very interesting, this race. It's happened, so much has happened in such a short amount of time. 16 laps is not a lot if you think about it. For this much to have happened, we see a lot of position changes for everyone. It's obviously Ibn behind Gav now, that is on the same place as he started. DRS Julian, who was on pole, I believe, now in
Roundy's just
P7.
pit again.
Roundy's pit again.
Has he got damage? I'm just going to watch and see if he gets a wing change. No, so this is just
Maybe
him going on to mediums.
Went on mediums. Indeed.
This is him just putting on a new set of mediums, but the issue is that's going to drop him quite a few places, so it's going to put him very out of position. But we will see. He could potentially.
We can also see Fragile Tunnel switching to the mediums. Do they know something we don't? No wing change, only the change to the softer compound.
Maybe these guys just, because they're out the points at the minute anyway, maybe they just have nothing to lose, so they're like, right, let's just put the quickest tyre on and hope for the best. Maybe that's their plan.
Very, very
and
true.
It does make sense, because if the guys in front of them have moments or whatever, these guys are going to be quick enough to capitalise on anyone. So.
Indeed, indeed. It's going to be obviously an interesting race this far. It's going to be very, very interesting as we go into Sector 2.
Right, Toby, I have a question for you. As a driver, have you ever been on the receiving end of a Night Shadow safety car restart?
Yes, I have, in a rainy Kota.
Was it the worst experience of your life?
Indeed it was, because my tires was about on the edge of 50 degrees, so...
Right, I'm going to publicly now just say, Tier 4, I apologise on Gav's behalf. Your restart will be at approximately 10 miles per hour.
Indeed, indeed.
And just make sure you get your heat in your tyres now, rather than leave it to the end, because you're not getting any of them then, I can promise you. So.
Indeed, I was thinking the same thing when I was behind him, so I weaved and such as early as I possibly could. And people were saying to me, "Don't do it this early. You'll f your tires up." If I say it like that.
Yeah.
I still did it because I know how Gav is on the safety cars.
Yeah, he's definitely something on the restarts. And, that's for sure.
He definitely is. Very interested to see how his heart is going to be doing. Is he going to be able to cope? Or is the runners behind him
going to be not
faster?
Great for him, I think. And the thing is, he can't go too slow himself because he's going to have real problems trying to get heat in those tyres anyway.
That is what I'm thinking.
So a slow restart would actually really, really destroy him, because it's going to cause all sorts of... So, he's nearly just got into the safety car.
Very close to the safety car. If he goes very, very slow on the restart, we can see Danny on the softer compound, remember, have a really, really good restart and have a really, really good end of this race. And, like, 10
to be honest, these guys don't want to be fighting too much, because Danny is there, and Danny is on the much better tyre. So any fighting here, Danny's going to be there. He's going to have so much more grip than all these guys. He's going to have a lot more heat as well, because the mediums naturally have more heat in them anyway. So
Indeed.
why is the safety car pulled over? Is it because Gav's fallen that far back that the safety car decided to pull over? Yeah, I think Gav's expecting it to come in. He's anticipating it before the safety car's even been announced to come in. You would think we're going to get an announcement very soon. I don't see why it wouldn't. The whole field is bunched. So
it is going to go in this lap.
The light still hasn't gone off yet, though. I wonder if we'll get an announcement. There it is.
Now.
Right. Now, everyone, enjoy the next 20
luck.
seconds of your life, because it is going to be the worst thing you ever experienced in your life.
It's going to be more than 20 seconds, I would imagine. So 2 minutes 5 seconds. His time was on. So let's see.
Gav's currently at 30 miles per hour. The man in P2 is at less than 30. This is actually quite quick for Gav, to be honest.
He now goes down. He goes down and up all the time.
Well,
Severe
5 seconds
collision.
with Winky.
There is chaos.
Danny's just taken the lead. What?
Night Shadow.
Oh, there's a big. Oh, there's something majorly.
Chaos.
The race leader, Provisional, has just got 5 seconds, and Brindle's got 5 seconds, plus one of them have wing damage.
Smith now looking very good for the race win. Now he goes.
Gav's got 5 seconds for ignoring yellows. Oh, this has caused all sorts of drama.
This is going to be interesting to see in the stewards room, and let me tell you, I'm happy I'm not a steward at the moment.
I've already got headache and I'm not even in the stewards room yet. Oh no.
I would wish you good luck, because that restart was insane and created so much chaos, and it was only Ibn that actually
well, the thing is, Danny ended up
2.3.
Danny ended up overtaking everyone, which doesn't make any sense. And then Danny overtaking them then sparked a reaction from the Red Bull, and then they both stopped, and then I think it was Brindle went into the back of Ibon, which messed everything up. Do you know what I mean? It was all.
Indeed.
I think the stewards will be looking at that one, that is for sure, after this. And I mean, I've already got brain damage just from seeing it live, so.
We could see people overtaking Night Shadow because he was going so slow, of course. They maybe got the message that it's okay to
but we have always said,
not be the case.
We have always said, even if you get the message, still don't.
Yeah, you should not. You should not.
Like even if the message comes up, we still say don't, because it causes all of what we've just seen. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly, people overtook Gav, and then there was crashes behind him, which meant that the yellow flags were came out, which means that Night Shadow, Gav of course, went back to his original position, still overtook people technically, and got that 5-second penalty.
The only issue for Gav is obviously they're yellow flags and all those cars stopped, so, and Gav is the original lead car, so Gav didn't really have a lot of a lot of choice but to go back past them, because they've actually stopped on track. So I think the 5 seconds he got and the 5 seconds Brindle and Ibon will be looked at by the stewards, I'm sure. So,
indeed,
but
I think we will see a lot of action in.
But I'm just saying, right? Just a quick point. I don't know if Danny's got any sort of damage, but Danny's got those medium tyres on, and he's fallen so far off the back of these guys. He's now under a lot of pressure from DRS Julian as well.
Indeed, it doesn't look like he have.
I'm wondering if it's rear wing damage. Because someone went into the back of him, I think, and I'm surprised if Ibon doesn't have.
It's very true.
I'll be surprised if Ibon doesn't have rear wing damage as well. Danny says his game glitched on the restart, is what Danny said. So that's what caused all that. He said he had a glitch. Oh, that's a shame for him.
Interesting.
Is he even in the session, I wonder?
This race has been filled with surprises.
I think this is... my brain is so confused by this one. I'm not gonna lie.
This race is the most action-filled I've ever commentated on. And raced in.
And most confusing, I would say, as well.
Very much confusing. It's very, very interesting. DRS now enabled for the last 8 laps.
The thing is, if Julian could still win this race, because obviously you've got the... Obviously it's going to be pending, because we're going to have a look at that 5 seconds, I'm sure, for Ibon as well. But, I mean, at least provisionally anyway, Julian could still win this race, because if he can get past Danny anyway. If not, Danny could win it. So... And obviously, no matter what, Gav will get his 4th place demotion at the end of the race. He's definitely getting demoted 4 places. So...
Indeed, and this safety car has lost him so much time. So it's going to be interesting where he comes out and where he finishes after the 4th place demotion.
To be honest though, obviously Gav's still got to pit in this race as well. He's not going to drop that far out the points though, is he? Because if you look, like, there's already 5 seconds back to Danny. Then there's another 5 seconds back all the way down to P7. I think Gav could still come out here around about P11, P12.
He's coming out. He's coming out P10, P11, P12 indeed.
Yeah.
It's
definitely
going to be very interesting how to see, or when we see the results and when he pits, because it's just a matter of question now.
I think he's going to pit next 2 laps, because he's definitely going to want the softs. He's just let Ibon go as well. I wonder if that's because he kind of wanted DRS down this straight. I think he wanted DRS down this straight, and that's why he let him through before detection. He has. And now here comes Night Shadow. He's the man who's going to make the move. He's going to be past him before we even get to the braking zone. He is through. But now he's going to have the DRS heading down to turn 4 as Ibon. So this battle definitely won't be over. Gab's also flashing, because he's used all of his DRS in that overtake. He's really tried to burn it on this restart. But don't forget, now you've got Danny closing as well. He's cut that gap right down. Huh. Tier 4, you guys are leaving me in a coma after this, I think.
Very, very close calls from everyone in this race, in my opinion. We see a moment down with Donny and Winky. Winky now going past Donny, who had a moment going into turn 2. Very, very interesting. And we see, as you said, we can see Danny's... Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
well, what bit was interesting? You on about Ibon and Gab, or?
The gap closing.
Oh yeah, it got bigger a little bit as well, because it was 4.2 last time I checked. Now it's back up to 4.4. So, but Ibon is still right on the rear. I wonder if Gab's gonna... Oh, there's so little contact between the top 2. But I wonder if Gab's going to play the same tactic again and let Ibon through so he gets it. Look, Gab's moved to the inside. He knows what he's doing, and he is. Gab's letting him have taking that DRS from him down the pit straight again. Gab is playing this very tactically. Why is Ibon ghosted? Okay, he's back straight away, but here comes Gab. He's going to have the straight line speed. Is he going to make the same move exactly again? He is, but this time he's going to have to get it done later. Ibon's got defensive to the inside, but now Gab's moved to the inside. He's made the lunge down the inside, and he's through. What a move that is. But now Ibon's going to have the much better run. Oh, he squeezed him. He's on the curb a little bit. Gab's off track. Gab's round. He's in the wall. He's lost his wing. Oh, wow.
I have been kicked, and I can't rejoin.
You've been kicked? Oh, no. Let me try. I'm going to have to try. No, it's not letting me. Oh, no. You might have to commentate from... You might have to just react to the stream or try and get back in. But, either way, Gav's just gone round and hit the wall, just to update you a little bit. So that's going to absolutely ruin his strategy a little bit here. But
it really is. It's going to be very, very, very interesting seeing how his strategy is going to work out now.
If you can, try. I know you're going to be a bit behind me with what happens, but if you need to, just try and commentate it from the stream, so we get that point of view. But
I will do that. You take the lap-on-lap action, and I'll commentate afterwards.
Just add the side effects to everything I react to about 30 seconds later, and you should be fine. So, but. Oh, Gav now lost a place. I think Gav has got wing damage, surely, because he did plough that wall, so it's definitely going to be interesting. But Gav's going to be coming in this lap either way. He's going to go onto the soft tyres, but this has utterly ruined his race, that is for sure. I didn't see any contact, but it was definitely very, very strange what went on at the front. But Ibon has some unbelievable pace on those hard tyres. Because he's actually made the gap bigger between him and Danny. And Danny's
That is
obviously on
very
the fresh
interesting,
mediums.
to be honest. As you said, Danny may have rear wing damage. He now shrinks the gap on in some sectors, some corners, and then he loses the time in some other corners and sectors. So Ibn is very, very good here, of course. Unfortunately, I can't see what penalties Ibn has. They may be discussed in the stewards room afterwards. I will be sure
I am
going to
go onto the pen screen now, actually, while we're here, because... So, Ibn has 5 seconds. That will be looked at in the stewards. We've caught it on the stream. There's definitely some sort of glitch happened from some position there. So, stewards will review that. Smith also has 5 seconds. As we said, Winkies is likely to be looked at because he got 10 seconds earlier. I don't know if you saw what that was for. But he has.
I did not, unfortunately. But
Dudon's got 5 and Brindle's got 5. Brindle we know was for the safety car. But do you know I mentioned about Danny having rear wing damage as well. I'd be kind of surprised as well if Ibon didn't, because both of them took a massive whack to their rear end on that restart. So
indeed, but I don't think Ibn has rear wing damage.
If he has, then he's got unbelievable pace with it. So
he definitely does. You can see Danny as well. He's just keeping the gap or even gaining time.
Are you back
Danny,
in? Out of interest.
Which is very interesting. I am not. I'm watching the YouTube stream.
Well, you're doing very well. I'm not gonna lie, because it was to the point I thought you were back in. But Danny is... I think there's been a lot of glitches in this lobby as well, which hasn't helped at all. But I'm sorry, guys. That's F122 for you. What do you expect at this point? But no, I think in a minute I am gonna have to ask you for a driver of the day, though. Because so have a think now and let me know in about a lap's time who your driver of the day is, because we do need to discuss that as well.
To be honest, I already think I know who I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think I know who I'm gonna say as well, to be honest. I think we're gonna say the same person, if I'm honest, as well.
We can say it.
Should we do it on 3, 2, 1, Danny.
Danny. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I think he started last, he's in P2, and he's really held that gap well to Julian behind him, who was the pole sitter as well. So it'd have been interesting to see where Danny would be if he started further up the grid, wouldn't it?
That would be very, very interesting. He would absolutely have gained a massive gap out the front, I would imagine, with the pace he has had under this race. Very, very interesting and very, very good race from him this far. Of course, we have about 3-4 laps left, of course.
I'll tell you another driver that's made an absolutely stunning comeback drive is Johnny Smooth. Bear in mind he spun like 3 times early on, didn't he? And now he's back up to P6 and he's battling with Roundy. So that's some comeback drive as well from Johnny Smooth there.
Very, very true, to be honest. Very, very true. We saw him down in P14 earlier even. And as you say, very, very good recovery drive. And good points for the Alfa Romeo team now that Paulo Costa unfortunately is out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone... Oh, Gab's just put in the fastest lap of the race. So he's stolen that from whoever had it in the top 10. He's not going to gain a point because he is currently down in P14. So that is a massive shame for Gab. We have got 2.5 laps to go-ish. So Ibon's still kept that gap. It's literally floating between around about 3.5 and 4.5. Oh, someone's gone round. It's Smith. Smith's had a moment. Johnny Smooth's up to P5 and Randy's up to P6. So that's going to be interesting. That is for sure. Johnny Smooth, though, he's one of the most improved drivers this season, I think, without a doubt.
Indeed, I really enjoy his races sometimes, because I know I raced with him in Aston Martin last season. Some days he was absolutely on point, and some days he lost the consistency, maybe had some bad luck with another driver.
Your teammate was Luke Chard, by the way, mate. We had this discussion last week. It was Luke Chard.
I am very sorry, but it's the same principle.
Yeah, it's the same principle. Yes, I agree.
Very, very good a few races, and then very unlucky another races.
He's definitely one of the drivers that I've seen are one of the unluckier drivers. Let's put it that way. So Yeah, no, your
Indeed.
principle is exactly right. But I remember last week you got confused between him and Luke Chard and thought he was your teammate.
Yep.
But
I still do that. I am very sorry for the both
yeah,
of you.
that's all good, I'm sure. But I'm just saying, Julian is now closing on Danny. So could Julian post a rather late attack here on Danny for P2? And obviously at the minute, obviously pending Ibon's penalty, if Julian does get through on Danny, Julian's going to win this race. Because Ibon has the 5 seconds. So this is going to be interesting. He's not quite close enough as of yet. We've still got 24 viewers. People are loving Tier 4 tonight. I'm sorry for the stop-start. We've been trying to get people back in the lobby. But thank you for all sticking around. Obviously, we've had a lot of glitches in this lobby as well, which hasn't helped anything. Even our COCOM is now watching it from the stream. So this is very make do, but we are doing everything we can to bring you this action in the best position we can, kind of thing. But here comes Julian. He is now, the issue for him is Danny's just got the RS off the back marker, which hasn't helped him in the slightest. So Danny has just caught all of these back markers at the exact right time. But Julian is now, and the thing is, it means that Danny is going to have DRS again, I think, on the rundown. He is, so that's not going to help Julian. So Julian, this is going to go down to the final lap for the battle for P2. Without a shadow of a doubt.
It really is. So we can also see DRS Julian with no ERS, which is very, very unfortunate for him.
The only thing for him is as well, Danny doesn't have either. So
that is very true. So it's just a battle of.
It's a battle of who can get the better X out of the last corner, really. To be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's basically the race, the drag race, as we say, coming into sector 3 and sector 1 again.
Danny's just had an absolutely not Danny, Julian's just had a huge twitch on the run down to the second DRS straight. So that's a third DRS straight, I should say, sorry. But that was, it's going to cost him time, but here it comes. This is it, the final lap shootout for P2. Well, actually, the race win. The Ibon's lost a lot of time to these guys as well. So they've actually gained a second on Ibon in the last lap, so I wonder if Ibon's had a moment somewhere. But this is the battle for the win, effectively. Ibon will take it on track. Obviously, it's still pending penalties as well. So, let's see. Can Julian get this move done on Danny? Is he going to be close enough? He's closing, but Danny seems to have slightly more straight line speed, so that's going to be one opportunity missed out for Julian. But now he's got the run down to turn 4. Danny's gone very deep on the exit of turn 1. That's going to really hinder his exit. Here comes Julian, though. Is he going to be close enough? He's definitely got the run. He's definitely got a better run. Is he going to be able to make it? He's not. Danny seems to have very, very good straight line speed. Maybe that was part of the tactic, knowing that he was going to start last. He went for a bit of a lower drag setup to try and pull away the straight line. He knew he was going to have to overtake today, that is for sure.
I definitely think that was his plan. Because he started that far back, he was thinking that he would go lower aero, which means faster straight line speed, as you have said multiple times, which increases the opportunity of overtaking.
Yeah, exactly, because he knows he's going to have to make the overtake if he's going to be starting that far back down the grid. But, I mean, he's done very well at it today. But here comes Julian. Is he going to make a last minute lunge? He's on the inside. There's contact between both of them. Danny's gone off track. And Danny's kept the position. Wow, that was the last bit of action for everyone. I think Julian slightly misjudged his braking. Ibon's going to take it on track. He definitely is. He's going around the final corner. This is a great debut from Ibon, and I'm sure the stewards will look at that 5 seconds, like I said. But he is definitely going to take it on track. Here he comes across the line on his debut. Brilliant drive from him. He's very much deserved it. He's led from start to finish pretty much. Danny does take the win, though. After the penalty, provisionally at least. Julian will take second. Great recovery after his spin. But Mazo comes home in 4th. Johnny Smooth will come home in 5th. He'll be delighted with that. Smith will come home in 6th. Fragile tunnels out on the final lap. That's not good for him. Winky will come home in P7. Dudon will also be P8. So these are going to be the final point scorers in this race. Winky's dropped to P9. Obviously, he had several penalties. Brindle will take P10. And he's going to have gained a lot. Roundy's jumped all the way up to P8. Scottish Ninja jumped to P9 as well. Night Shadow's up to P12. He finishes there. Man, will come home P14, Luke Chard P15, and then Gibbon and 38 will be the final classified finishers. Obviously, they had an absolute disaster with their connection or with the lobby glitches. But that is it. So Danny was definitely your driver of the day, Toby, yes?
100%. That recovery drive was very, very good.
I think no one can argue with that. You start last and you finish second at Bahrain. That's one hell of a drive, isn't it, to be honest? So, but I mean, we've gone through a lot of difficulty in that race with connections and with glitches and just in general a lot of rubbish in that race, to be honest, didn't we? But there was absolutely amazing battles as well across the field. Some brilliant side-to-side racing.
It really, really was. It was very exciting to watch this race and to commentate on it. Very, very well driven by every single driver, and I think you should be proud of yourselves.
Yeah, I agree, but here is the provisional grid. Danny takes P1, Julian takes P2, Ibon P3, Batmazer P4, Jolly Smooth P5, Smith P6, Zondas P7, Randy P8, Scottish Ninja in P9, Dudon in P10, Brindle P11. He'll be so gutted with that, as will Gab in P12, Winky P13, Man 14th, Fragile, Luke Chard 15th, Fragile Toddler 16th, Gibbad 17th, 38 in 18th, Paulo Costa 19th, and Scott, obviously, who had that unfortunate pit lane entry error, which has now cost him. But don't forget, guys, we still have one more race at Bahrain this week. That is MRCX on Friday, 7:30. It's the sprint race format, and you don't want to miss it. That is always going to be good fun. You will score points this time, because the useless person who runs MRCX didn't make you score points in the sprint. This time you will, so don't miss it. You want to tune in. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that bell, because we do want some more subscribers, and we do want more viewers, and we want this league to keep growing and growing as quickly as it already is, if not even faster. But thank you tonight, Toby, for joining me and staying committed even with the connection problems. But thank you for staying committed.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll probably hear your voice again grace the MRC screens next week. But from me and from Toby, that is it, and we will see you all very, very soon. Have a great night. Goodbye.